What's up, everybody? It's Heidi Fang here for Vegas Nation, and I'm going to be joined by our NFL writer, Adam Hill. The two of us are going to break down what could happen for the Raiders in the NFL draft set for Las Vegas and various locations. We'll keep you up to date with everything happening around the town as it gets closer to draft day. But first, let's go ahead and bring in Adam Hill, who's been writing up all of our mock drafts on vegasnation.com. Adam, I want to get your thoughts on whether or not the Raiders try to make a move before the draft happens to get themselves back into the first or second round.
Well, this is the first draft for the new administration, obviously being in Las Vegas, hosting the whole event. You would think that there's going to at least be some conversations. I don't know that they're going to take into consideration like, hey, the fans want to see this. They're going to do whatever is best for the organization, for sure. And it's possible they could move up into the first or even second round. In our mock draft, our first one, we have potentially Darren Waller being traded for a first-round pick. If I was the Raiders, I wouldn't be trading Darren Waller to get back in the first round. He's on a very team-friendly contract. That was just kind of a suggestion of, hey, Darren Waller probably wants more money. He sees what all these other guys are getting. He has no guaranteed money left on his deal. So maybe he would want to explore going somewhere else. And Tennessee Titans are probably going to be looking to draft a tight end. They're a contender. Why not go get the best tight end available on the trade market? My thought right now is that it won't happen. I don't think they'll get back in the first round. But again, conversations will be had. So it's very important to monitor what goes on the next couple of weeks.
You said earlier that number 86 is the spot where the Raiders will be drafting. That's the third round. So is there anybody in particular you think that they are looking at, or is it a position that they're looking at?
Right now on the board, this is the first pick that this administration makes. So I think there's not more importance necessarily, but I think everybody wants to get that right when they make their first pick with a new franchise. So a lot of focus will be on it. Obviously, they need depth on the offensive line. That is an area where they're going to have to address at some point in this draft. I believe cornerback is another very important position for this team. They've got their starters in place, they think, but depth is always something that you want to take a look at. There are great players everywhere in this division on the outside. On the offenses, you're going to have to cover them. It's not just 2 or 3 quarterbacks. You're going to need 4, even 5 guys. You need depth in that position. Obviously, linebacker is a place where they could definitely use some depth and some talent on linebacker, especially changing formats a little bit into a 3-4 system. And let's not forget, Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler have said that they want to get a quarterback that they can draft and develop. What they've stated they want to do here in Vegas is to draft a quarterback to develop him over the next couple of years to eventually take over, somebody that understands the system, knows the system. That is going to be something that they do as well. So whether they do that through potential free agency after the draft or drafting a quarterback, that's probably something to look at as well in this draft.
Is there a prospect tantalizing enough that would motivate the brass to kind of go after them, as you were discussing right there?
Maybe a Carson Strong. I don't know if people in Vegas want to hear that, but Carson Strong from up in Reno, a guy who I think has a lot of tools, very good skill set, a guy that could develop into a quarterback in the long run. Maybe that's a name to keep an eye on, especially a guy who has some Nevada ties, even if it's the wrong part of Nevada.
If you were going to trade a Raider, just take a look over the roster. Earlier, we talked about Darren Waller. Who would it be that you would look to deal to try to get the Raiders back into the first round?
Well, I'll just be clear again that I would not trade Darren Waller. I don't know that there's many players on the Raiders necessarily that would warrant getting a first-round pick from any other team. Darren Waller is potentially that guy, and it would have to be the right situation, a team that's willing to give him a long-term deal that he would go to and move into that spot. And by the way, I had him being traded to Tennessee because that is a team that I think is a tight end away from being very, very good on offense. I don't know that Tennessee could afford to sign Darren Waller either. So those are things to monitor of what teams have money, what teams have capital, who could move around. I think it'd be silly for Raiders fans to just ignore the fact that there's a first round because they don't have a first round pick right now. You never know what's going to happen. But something to keep an eye on. Right now, if I had to completely bet on it, I would not bet on the Raiders being in the first round.
There you have it from our own Adam Hill, our NFL writer. Find him on Twitter at AdamHillLVRJ and check out all the mock drafts that he is doing leading up to April 28th, the first night of the 2022 NFL draft here in Las Vegas. Again, we'll keep you up to date with all that you need to know on vegasnation.com. For Adam Hill, I'm Heidi Fang. Thank you for watching.